Good morning and welcome to day 12 of the Serving Challenge here at Ascension Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Scott coming to you from the parking lot here at Ascension Lutheran Church, and I'm standing next to my car. It could use a wash and it could use a wax, which is why I'm standing next to it, not because I'm going to wash or wax my car, but Pastor Zach today, the theme of the reflection is Shine, Grasshopper, Shine, which reminded me of Karate Kid, which reminded me of Wax On, Wax Off. And so I'm standing next to my car because I made those connections, and I think they're relevant to today's reflection. I think the challenge that Pastor Zach has before us today is really to be encouraged, to be encouraged to have this attitude, which is hard to think about how do we change our attitude. And I think about how Mr. Miyagi helped the Karate Kid come to be able to believe in himself against insurmountable odds. And it was through doing little things, right? It was waxing on, waxing off. It was painting the fence, right? And then those actions then became helpful to him when he entered into the arena for the competition, the karate competition. I think the same is true for us. I mean, it's going to be in little ways and small ways that we can imagine, or we begin to do something kind or thoughtful or in service to others that then can become habit and then change actually how we interact with and love actually our neighbors and others that we are in relationship with, and even people we don't know. It could be as simple as setting aside a portion out of when you get change, when you've bought something, and saying, I'm going to give that to the food pantry, or I'm going to give that to the next person I see who appears to be in need when I leave the restaurant or the store, or I'm going to buy an item when I'm at the restaurant and hand it to somebody who appears hungry, or I'm going to grab a blessing bag and instead of rushing by somebody who appears homeless, I'm going to give it to them. Those very small acts, I think, then can build and will build upon each other so that we began to be more open and maybe even change our attitude. I think another way our attitude can be changed is by listening to the stories of the people in the community who we maybe have a bad perception of because we don't know their story, what caused them to be in the situation where they're in need. And maybe it isn't as drastic as homelessness, but just somebody who is short a few dollars, right? Or is struggling to fill up their gas tank or something. Or maybe it's somebody you're struggling with who has been perpetually unemployed, or you don't understand how they can make those decisions. Or, how can you imagine putting yourself in the in the shoes of another person? Hard to put on their feet, but in the shoes of another person. And that empathetic thinking, and then which can actually then change not just our attitude but our actions as well. Wax on, wax off, say hi to your neighbor, love and serve your neighbor in need. Maybe it's time again for another attitude check, as Pastor Zach talked about in introducing this aspect. I'm not so sure. But I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 13 as we look at our second aspect of the Serving Challenge. Take care.